you would have felt hurt that she didn't listen to you because you're just trying to warn her. But best remember, she's a victim too. Just remember that. And one thing that I want to say about anyone Jessie meets is you're all vulnerable. So Jessie only meets vulnerable people. And what do I mean by that? People who have had mental health at some point, people who have been abused by other people, people who have grown up in abuse. Jessie meets certain type of women, right? And those women are so used to abuse from different people growing up in different areas that Jessie kind of seems normal to them, and probably to you, my darling, at some point. So Jodie was just another victim like you, and this is why narcs are so dangerous. And this is why I say to you, when you talk about narcissists, thank you for the gifts. When you talk about narcissists, this is the narcissist. Okay, you've got variations of narcissism, but when we throw the word around so lightly, people like Jessie King, it gets taken lightly. Oh, just another narcissist. No, Jessie King is an extreme. I would actually go on to say you probably had narcissistic personality disorder. I would actually be, as a therapist, I would absolutely bet my money on he has a personality disorder, because you don't go to great lengths the way he's grown to come on live. That's probably why, Jamie. You record away, because I come on here to speak about this because, listen, the reason why I didn't raise what I felt prior to this is because you have to stick to facts. And he could have took me to the police if I come on here and I just said, I feel this, I feel that. No, but every time I speak on something, there's factual basis behind it. So he couldn't go to the police about me and trying to get me done, because I'm not saying anything that isn't proven beyond reasonable doubt that he's done. Okay, and he can't get me done for saying that I think he's a narcissistic personality disorder, because it's an observation which I'm allowed to make. So you can video record, you can use it, you can, because I'm not worried. I don't get worried by people like him. Oh, did you observe? Oh, I'm so sorry. I get so many, and I wouldn't have ignored you. Yeah, I would have just probably bypassed it by accident. The reason why I'm comfortable speaking out about this stuff is, one, because I've experienced it. Two, because I'm a trauma-informed therapist. I have enough knowledge that I'm able to come and talk, and why I see this. You can't pick apart humans and think you know it all. People like Jessie, their behaviours are very, very clear to see, especially as a therapist. There ain't no therapist that don't look at that man and go, fucking hell, absolutely. He has ADHD misdiagnosed. Well, I don't know how you think you know that, Max. That to even determine that somebody has ADHD. There's many people out there, sweetheart, with ADHD misdiagnosed that don't go around doing those kind of things. He has a narcissistic personality disorder, and that could be an ADHD undiagnosed for years and years and years and years and years, that he's got that much wounding, that much, because narcissism is a false created ego. Thank you, Jamie. I'm probably not the best on here, but I know when I say it, I pretty much know a lot about what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. I mean, like, listen, he may have ADHD undiagnosed, but you cannot use that. Oh, right, okay. He says he has ADHD all the time and it could have been misdiagnosed. Oh, get you, honey. Oh, definitely. ADHD quite often gets misdiagnosed when somebody has other personality disorders, because ADHD isn't a personality disorder, by the way. But he definitely has a cluster personality disorder somewhere, because he's vile, isn't he? You wouldn't go on live either and pretend like nothing was going on, or mock people. There is video and video and video out there. When somebody said, I'm autistic and I got a gift, and he turned around and laughed and said, yeah, the only gift you got. Or what was it he said? I can pick things up. He went, the only things you can pick up is crayons. I don't know why we're normalising those kind of dialogues from somebody, especially in a world that's seeking to be as inclusive as it can. And now we're all allowed to have a joke and we're all allowed to have a laugh, but you don't do it, especially when you're in a position of power like he is. You don't do that, because he's in a position of power. Hello, Tarot Medium Kelly. Oh, hello, Kelly. I've watched you. I like you. I'm like, oh, I recognise Kelly. She's got red hair. And I remember seeing her and thinking, oh my God, I love that red hair on her. Absolutely, Becky. And the thing is, I'm not here to say that he doesn't know to some extent what he's talking about, but do you know what the thing is though? Thank you, Kelly, just as much as I love your hair. Is he fake? By the way, can't figure it out. The thing is, I can't determine whether somebody's fake or not, and it wouldn't be my position to determine when somebody's fake or not. He does have a lot of knowledge, so I'm not going to lie there when I say the things that he talks about. A lot of the things that he does talk about is like coming from a factual basis. So I can't say that he's done some training somewhere, okay? Because but what do con artists do? They learn enough so that they can smoke screen people. I've heard one of his readings, and I would like to believe, if that was an off day, that was still a bad reading. Right, because anyone to pay that money, it's horrendous, Kelly. It actually triggered me a little bit. It made me hate him. And I didn't hate him prior, I just didn't agree with him, didn't like him. I felt an adverse thing to him because I felt like he was an abuser. But when I seen those photos, I thought, you fucking C-U-N-T, you fucking bastard. You fucking bastard. That's what I felt like. I thought, how fucking dare you use vulnerable women in this way and still come on live. And what does he do on live? Most of his following is females because he knows how to manipulate. Honestly, I would never become violent, but I would have wanted to have punched him, like on behalf of he's a typical predator. He absolutely is. Yeah, definitely, Aaron, they are. She is a narcissist. Well, the thing is with narcissism, right? I actually don't think she is a narcissist. If you're talking about his ex, I actually from looking at her and her energy, listen, I'm not telling you that I know all narcissist energy, but from looking at her, she's wounded, but she's not a narcissist. She's been traumatized. You're exactly right, Laura. She's been traumatized. Now, he is a narcissist. He seeks vulnerable women. He manipulates vulnerable women. Oh, right. Sorry, darling. Sorry, Laura. Sorry. This is a big edit trying to keep up anywhere. But has he got a gift? I actually don't think he has, because I couldn't imagine Spirit wanting to work with him. I couldn't imagine Spirit channeling that kind of energy. I really, really just couldn't, because I know what Spirit's energy is like. So the more I'm connected, Siobhan, and fucking him as well. Fucking him. Because honestly, finding out what men are doing to women and oh my God, Laura laughs. I've acted like those voice notes as well, and that's why it made me even more angry, because when I come across a voice note that he put up or he did something, and it's called reactive abuse, and reactive abuse is when somebody gaslights you, manipulates you, lies to you. Siobhan knows this, I know this. When somebody pushes you and makes you doubt your own reality, makes you question everything. And the thing is, they know that we have a little bit of mental health. So that young lady, Devon, might have had a little bit of mental health. I've had a bit of mental health. And my partners have all known that. And when they've known it, they're like, you're just a fuck up. But you're a fucking mess. You're a psychopath. Look at you, fucking bipolar. Look at you, always fucking kicking off. But what they're doing is they're deflecting. They're projecting. They've got all this anger in them that they want to make you become reactive to, so you're the problem. Because they can't sit with themselves. They can't sit with the fact they may have done something wrong. They've got to project it out. Well, I was bipolar too. I'm actually not bipolar. And most of people who are diagnosed with bipolar aren't bipolar. You are just very traumatized and wounded from things that have happened in your childhood. Because bipolar is actually more to do with trauma. It's more to do with the behaviours and trauma responses that you have. And that's how I healed my bipolar. They wanted to tell me I had BPD, borderline personality disorder, CPTSD, which I definitely did have that. But it's all to do with trauma. My doctor told me you're not going crazy, it's always abusing you. And do you know what, Charlotte? It's like when you put a crab, okay, when you put a lobster in a pan, you turn the water up slowly, or a frog. So let's talk about it's a frog actually. You put a frog in a pan, but you turn the water up slowly. The frog acclimatizes and it burns to death, because the frog, if you put the frog in boiling water, it jumps straight out. So if you go into a relationship straight away where there are fucking C-U-N-T, most of us would go, oh, so what do? They love bomb you. You know, you've only got to see the messages that he sent to her, which is damning. You're my everything, you changed my world. It's right person, wrong time. EUPD is horrendous. And that is massively underdiagnosed. And that massively affects people. A lot of women have that more than they don't think they do. Well, Charlotte, the thing is, it's trauma bonding. The man, they do it, but what they do is they push and pull. They give the love, they pull it away. They give the love, they pull it away. And what happens is you thrive for the next bit of love, because it's unconsciously, thank you for the gift, Suzanne. It's unconsciously replicating a childhood behaviour with a parent. Most people who go to partners like that have one or both parents that were hot and cold. So that child has become used to striving for love, they're not getting it, pulling away, striving for love. So what happens is the energy becomes something they're used to. So when they meet a partner that breadcrumbs them, they're used to it. And the thing is, the only way you heal from that, the only way you heal from that is you heal your trauma bonds, you heal the pain that you've got from your childhood, why you pick these people. So EUPD, I don't know actually the generic term from it, but it is what I'm thinking it is, isn't it? It's when you have, before your period, it's the 2 weeks before your period, your hormones change horrendously, and it greatly impacts your mental health. It greatly impacts your it's not even that then. Emotionally unstable personality disorder. Emotionally unstable personality disorder. The thing is, there is a lot of terms that actually, that's PMDD, that you're right, that's right, Amy. There's lots of terms that interlink. Bipolar is very similar to that. That's why borderline personality, it's all the buzzwords that they bring in. Borderline personality disorder actually mimics bipolar, so there could be misdiagnosis. This is why they say, oh, we think you've got this, but you may have this. Because instead of them realising it's actually hugely trauma-based and it's hugely part from your experiences and your upbringing to certain degrees, they just jump from different diagnosis to different diagnosis. You know, I had so many. It was BPD, well, it was bipolar, then it could have been BPD, then it was attachment reactive disorder, then it was, fuck me, they just was pulling them out of their hat. And it's like, in the end, I was like, do you even fucking, like, what buzzword's coming next? Like, what, you know? So, I'm not saying diagnoses aren't needed, because they are, because they help you to understand. If somebody has a diagnosis and they say, I've got a diagnosis, it can help. Most diagnoses can sometimes help you understand. Because really, you can heal a lot of these, and they know that. They know that you can. Medication doesn't cure you. But, absolutely, Siobhan. And you'll realise that actually, all of these mental health diagnoses do mean something, but only as long as all the wounds aren't being healed. And the more we all keep healing, you know, this is why people who had borderline personality disorder, you'll see it all over TikTok. They'll say, my life has drastically changed and increased and got better because I'm looking at my symptoms. Where did they come from? I'm looking at the causes, which just goes to greatly show you it comes from experiences, adverse experiences in childhood. Thank you, Aaron. It comes from sometimes a little bit genetic, not sometimes at all times. There's a little bit of a genetic disposition. It comes from experiences, and it comes from your environment. I mean, look, when we look at it, Jessie King has obviously had a very unstable environment growing up, because anyone with narcissistic personality disorder or extreme narcissism have had extreme childhood issues. So there is going to be lack of bonding with one or both parents. There is going to be attachment issues. He may have either been overspoilt and over-nurtured, had no boundaries, was allowed to get away with everything, was overloved, spoiled child syndrome, or he was under-nurtured. It could go either or, because that kind of behaviour can come from either or. Thank you for the love. Either or. Right now he needs to heal. And this is why I say, don't throw hate his way. Don't go on his lives and throw hate his way. Send the energy out to the universe. Please, universe, help these women. Please, universe, help. Please, divine, help. Let's, because that man needs help. And the only way that man's going to get help is when he has nothing. Because that's the only way anyone gets help, is they hit rock bottom. They hit rock bottom and they're faced with their own stuff, and they sit there and they go, all I've got around me is the mirror of my own shit. We've all been there. I was there. I had to, mine was different. I wasn't like him, but I had my own toxic stuff that until I sat there at the bottom with pretty much fuck all, because I just didn't know who I was. I had to go, what needs to change? What part am I playing in it? I don't think that twat's going to do that. I'm not going to lie. That he's created such a great victim role for himself. Like, he is extreme. And narcissists chase fame and attention. He has to be validated and adored. So he'll come back and he'll always say, I'm coming back stronger. Jesse King, and the king is, because the king's never down for long. Fuck off, Jesse. Most kings are narcissists, mate. Because anyone in that type of power, or seeks that type of power, has a lot of ego based in them. Because unfortunately, most humble people don't want to be in that level of power, because the shit that comes with it. So, he chases power, he chases fame, he chases validation. He's on there now. Do you know what the biggest indicator is of a narcissist? He doesn't even need to change himself. Security, superiority. And that tells you the extent of the narcissism he has. Because when you get that secure, so he's got no problem coming on live saying, fuck this, fuck that, fuck the haters. He's already said in Texas he thrives off it. I can turn anything. He knows there's incriminating stuff out there about him, and he's on here going, fuck it. Okay, I am who I am, innit? I am who I am. You read what you want to read. So that tells you the level of narcissism he has. Because you've got to be pretty fucking high on that scale to be able to come on live and pretend like nothing, not even pretend like nothing's going on. Come on live and act like he doesn't give a fuck. There's a woman showing horrific bruises. There's a woman showing text messages of what he says, and he just doesn't even care. He's not even showing an ounce of remorse to the girl. He's not even trying to explain himself. Well, he is a little bit, but it's all victim to her. It's not, I shouldn't have put my hands on her. I shouldn't have done this. I can't believe I've done that. That's how you know a genuine person. Because they go, oh my God, I can't believe it got to that level. I can't believe I touched her. I did that. He doesn't do that. So that tells you it's normal. It tells you he has no problem putting his hands on somebody, because he's got no problem lying about it. He's got no remorse. I would actually go hazard to guess he might be a little bit on the psychopathic, because he's got no remorse. Yeah. And when somebody has no remorse or empathy, he has no empathy. You can't tell me that he is a highly spiritual person that evolved working with even he isn't spiritual in the slightest. There ain't no spiritual thing about him. Yeah. He absolutely believes he's a victim, and that's a dangerous place to be, isn't it? A very dangerous place to be. If you could believe you're a victim when somebody who is a victim is standing right in front of you, and the poor girl, you can see how vulnerable Devon must have been, because people go, oh, that's psycho. Oh, please don't leave me if you see these bruises. She's just, do you know what? She's extremely vulnerable. Because when I was with my ex, everyone warned me, and I thought I was the one that was going to change him. I listened to the lies. I thought I was going to change him. I thought, because he was different with me. He'd never been like this with anyone else. And so I don't actually judge the girl he's with. I think she's just, one day she's going to look back and think, what the fuck was I doing, like most of us? And one day she's going to realise how wounded she was, because you would not be drawn to somebody like him unless you're wounded. And the thing is the same with you, Siobhan. You wouldn't have been drawn to him, but now you're not. Now you're healing your wounds, and you can see what healthiness is. Yeah, she's a victim too. And she won't realise it. She won't realise she's a victim until she realises she's a victim. And he will be on his best behaviour around her because it's too fresh. This has come out. There's no way he's going to show his true colours. He can actually keep this charade going for about 12 months. Because people like this actually don't necessarily start showing bits until 18 months in. They can literally keep you on a high for 12 months. Their mask will slip, but then their manipulation techniques are better. Oh my God, really, Siobhan? I've done him a fucking reading and it come up in a reading. And that's probably why he unfollowed me, actually. Because when I went to block him, he'd unfollowed me. Because I said, he paid for a reading. I said to him in a reading, the way you treat people, your partner's not going to stay if you don't change to treat this. He goes, no, I'm treating her better. I'm treating this one better. Like, we're happier. It's not. It was... I can't even fucking fathom. Can't even fathom the shit he was coming out with. Suzanne, definitely, because most of the time we are with a partner for the initial 6 months, we're quite vulnerable. Lust can last a while, but most of the time when he's met partners like that, he's met them at the most vulnerable. These women want to be swept off their feet. Women who have been through abuse before, we want the knight in shining armour. So what we do is, without realising, because we're so wounded, when somebody acts like they're going to come and sweep us off our feet and take all our problems away, it's the knight in shining armour out. We go, oh my God, I finally met the one. Because that's what he did, that's what the person did to me. And it wasn't until I started healing and growing and realising what I wanted, I was like, you're cutting tinfoil. Like, you're not a knight in shining. Oh my God. And when I look back at how wounded I was, I can understand why I tolerated it. That's exactly it, Siobhan. And they also play into the knowledge side of some of the things that they have. And men like that, they create something for you to hook into them. So what they do is they create something that they have an interest the same as you, and they kind of amalgamate with you. So people like Jesse King, your ex Scott, and people like that, they are codependent. They want a partner that's going to make them happy. So what they'll do is they'll put everything they can into their partner as long as they're getting everything back. You idolise them, you love them, you do. But the minute you start outing and saying, actually, oh, I love you, darling, but I'm not okay with that. What do you mean you're not okay with that? Well, it's what I say goes. Or then the dominance starts to come in. Hello. Siobhan. And then the dominance starts to come in, and the codependence is their happiness is based on you. So you've got to always make them happy. If you're having a bad day, well, you're a cunt because you're pissing them off, because how dare you have a bad day? And then if they have a bad day, you're still a cunt because how dare they not be allowed a bad day? And it's like, you're in a no-win situation with these people. If you ask them how they are, they're like, I don't want to talk about it. Why are you always on my case? If you don't ask them how they are, you don't fucking care. You never bother. Honestly, these people are so wounded internally. What's the spiritual explanation for a narcissist? So the spiritual explanation for narcissism, and it's actually not just a spiritual explanation, it's a known explanation. It's huge childhood wounding. So every human is on a scale, a narcissism scale, okay? And what happens is, so the ones that have had the most childhood wounding, you're going to be a bit higher. You're going to have behaviours, you're going to have traits. Me, I had them. And then what you do is, as you start to grow and heal, you recognise these traits are unhealthy, and you recognise most people go, I want to grow, I want to heal. So then they start to heal their wounding, which takes them further down the narcissism, which means they're not. So they're coming away from, so they've got some narcissistic traits like self-indulgence, we all have, but it's balanced. They're not narcissistic in the sense they're affecting life. But when you have people, so narcissism is a false created identity. So because in childhood they didn't know who they were, they weren't taught to be who they were. Well, it's not that they hate themselves. They had enough people around them, Kelly, hating them growing up. So they had to create a false sense of identity to fit in. But they then have to feed into this false sense of identity with illusion. And then what happens is, every time you challenge that person's illusion, because they feel so bad about themselves because of their childhood, their illusion becomes greater and their ego becomes greater and their wounds become greater, to the point they have literally created such huge illusions, such a huge ego, such a huge disconnection from reality, that you can see these people are off the scale. You can see that, fucking hell, there's just something, like healthy people go, fucking hell, there's just something about them. Unhealthy people go, I like him, but I don't always like this yet. So you see what I'm saying? So it's all about how deep your wounding is and whether you're ready to heal your wounding. People who have got, so you can heal narcissistic personality disorder, but it takes great awareness, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of commitment to really wanting to better the life of yourself and those around you. Most people go up and down on the narcissism scale depending on what they've been through and how it's affecting them. How far up the scale they are is depending on how unhealed they are. So there is something called narcissistic wounding. So if you've grown up in a narcissistic home, you will also have narcissistic behaviours because you have adapted and created maladaptive behaviours to try and navigate the narcissist. And this is what we call in therapy narcissistic wounding. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person, like you're a horrible narcissist. It means for you to survive, you had to create behaviours that were on par with the narcissist, because that's the only way you could behave. That's the only way as a child you knew. So yes, you have narcissistic behaviours, but they are not ingrained, they are just maladaptive behaviours. And this is where most people are. Narcissistic wounding, most people are here. So you're not, no, most people aren't narcissists born and bred. Now there is a small degree of people that have psychopathy, okay, and psychopathy, and, you know, ingrained mental health disorders. Yeah, self-preservation. And it was self-preservation at all costs. And, thank you. It's self-preservation at all costs. So in a way, I actually feel sorry for those who are hugely narcissistic, because it does mean that something's occurred. Huge. Absolutely, we all have a bit of us in it. But the thing is, Angie, you're meant to be aware. This is why learning self-awareness is important, because just saying we all have a bit of it in us isn't okay, is just not enough. Like, yeah, but when does it come out? You've got to know when it comes out. Somebody who's on their phone constantly taking pictures will laugh it off and say, oh, I'm just a little bit vain. Yeah, but if it's impacting your life, that's a behaviour you definitely need to change. So quite often, some people, we're normalising narcissistic behaviours in this day and age. We're normalising huge amounts of vanity. We're normalising huge amounts of use of social media. We're normalising bullying. We're normalising a lot. Oh, Holly, thank you. I love watching you so much. Normally a silent observer birthday. Thank you for calling out JK. Thank you, Holly. Thank you for watching. It doesn't, well, to be quite honest, it doesn't actually feel uncomfortable to out JK because he is an extreme. Don't like, you know, you don't want to be sat on these apps outing people, because talking about other people is not really where you should be. But when it comes to detrimental, huge detrimental behaviours like he has, it's important that movements are created where people do speak about this stuff, because victims' voices get silenced. And this is the thing, right? I was a victim of childhood sexual, physical and mental abuse, and I was silenced by many of my family members because it was too uncomfortable to ever face. My dad had narcissism, and my dad was the one that did it, and everyone loved my dad and could never believe, even when I outed him years and years, could never believe my dad did that. And even now, my dad apologised to me and things like that, but even now I can see narcissism still in him. So yeah, he was wounded and he went through a lot. But, and part of me loves my father. Don't speak to him, but part of me loves him because you're ingrained and you're taught to love your parents, and I just wanted to love him because he's my dad. But it fucked my head up. It fucked my head up massively. It sent me on a real, no wonder I got diagnosed with bipolar, and all my mum could ever, I had psychosis from it. You know, when I was 30, I had a massive breakdown, which I had psychosis from all, and it wasn't just my dad, it then become partners. My mum silencing me. Then it become partners. I kept meeting abusive partners who were silencing me. And I always wanted to be the better person and not out these people and not say anything and just move on and be the better person. And it's like, no, actually, that's what they condition you to do. The world conditions people to be quiet. You know, you can't keep me quiet. Listen, that's one thing you ain't fucking doing to me. You don't keep me quiet. Yes, I am struggling a little bit at times to navigate the things that come back from that, because when you talk about truths, people who live in illusions don't like it. And then lots of people live in illusions, not bad people, but any truth anyone talks about, there's always somebody living in an illusion that hates you because you're shining a light on something they don't want to face. And that's with anything. So I am fucking Marmite. Not easy spreadable though. Let's just say that. Thank you, water. Oh, water fairy, thank you. But at the end of the day, thank you for the confetti. You know, I'm not here to speak bad about everyone or anyone really, but you've got to out what you've got to out, and you've got to talk about certain things. Thank you, Angie. Well, Siobhan, that's just always the way. And it's always the way that I just... Played the game very well, that one. Another one. I'm almost like, what narcissism meter is he at? Jen, and that's the thing, like, the fact that he's actually on live, I mean, you can't make this up. Like, this is why he's a dangerous man. He is dangerous, because if you come on live and you mock or you dismiss the allegations that he's got against him, that's a dangerous man. That actually, he's not even willing to create a persona of he's sorry. He's that content in his superiority that he doesn't even need to be sorry, because he knows people are going to love him anyway. I really, really hope the police do something. And if the police do not do something, then that is a miscarriage of justice. Absolutely, Lucy. If the police do not look further into that man, and I say this right, and I said this 2 months ago, he's going to be done for fraud next year. I don't know why. Spirit said so to me. And I don't know why this is coming up, but I almost have to say it. Oh my God, your poor friend. I can only say she's vulnerable, because she wouldn't be fucking tolerating that. Do you know what, Lucy? All I can say to you, sweetheart, is don't try and tell her not to be with him, because she'll pull away from you and she'll shut you out of her life until it goes Pete Tong, because that's what he does. He'll do that. Just hold space for her and just let her do her thing, because he will have her shut people out. But yeah, for some reason, Spirit said to me he's going to be done for fraud next year. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on there. I don't know if he's not been paying his taxes. I don't know. It's a really random thing. And I don't predict stuff. I don't act like I'm a predictor, because I'm not. But Spirit just said to me, even though I do predict stuff, by the way, I don't like to advertise I'm a predictor, because that's not what I like. I don't like predictions. I don't really think they serve a place in it. But Spirit told me it, so I was like, I've got to say it. The thing is as well, the more... Kaylee, I just can't even... Babe, you just can't... When it comes to things like that, you can't listen to what the man has to say. I mean, do you know what? He almost wants to reinvent the wheel and act like he's God. Because he's almost... What he's doing is, and this is what our narcissists do... Well, the thing is though, Lucy, we do need to give him airtime, because this is getting the word out. This isn't positive airtime, and while he may believe any airtime is better than no airtime, please believe me, in this case, Spirit say otherwise, because I would never talk about... Listen, hello Mel, my darling. If you watch anything on my page, very, very, very rarely, he's the only person I've ever really spoken about. One other person, but I love them. That wasn't even a bad thing. Shame, but it wasn't. But I don't speak about stuff on my page. I'm not here to out anyone. I'm not here to be horrible about anyone. So that's not what my page is about. But I know that I need to talk about this. And I know Spirit are encouraging people. Thank you for the rose. I know Spirit are encouraging people. And I know, especially when I've got one person in front of me who is just going through this with her ex, and she's been silent for so long. And I know myself, when I was silent, somebody has to be a voice for the people that at different points are scared to speak. Because if we just keep silencing the victims because we don't want to give the airtime to these fucking predators. These predators are still being predators. And I'll fucking tell you this now. Why I have breath in my lungs and that twat's still on this app, I will continue to speak about him at different intervals. I won't make my content about him, but I will continue to speak about him at different intervals. Because, absolutely, Paris. No, who's James Buckle? I don't even know who James Buckle is. Oh, yes, I do know who James Buckle is. I actually felt a bit bad, right? Because I went past it. So I don't get involved with any other mediums. Obviously, Mel's a medium, I love Mel. Siobhan's a medium, love Siobhan. But I've only got a small amount of people that I talk to on here. I don't really go to any of the pages, but I did cross, and I actually felt really, do you know what, I haven't actually heard of James Buckle, but there was a lady on there and I felt really sorry for her because she was very right in what she was saying. So James Buckle was on live actually about half hour ago, and there was a lady on his live. Now she was a little bit dominating, but I think she's upset, so that's all well and said. But she was saying how upset she feels as a genuine medium, that she's being pushed out because there's lots of real, I won't say fraudulent, but some mediums that aren't actually the healthiest mediums on this app that are rising up. And actually, if you look at a lot of the risers, there's some risers that are really, really good. I mean, my other friend, absolutely love her. Fuck's sake, can't remember. Why has her name gone from me? Fuck. And she's just reached 100k and I love her. Oh my God, fuck. Someone give me a name. You know I talk to her all the time. Why can't I think of her name? No, I don't know who that one is. No, B! Yay, B, I love B. Destiny, I've not come across Destiny, but B, I love B. And actually, I see a lot of B in me, and I see a lot of me in B. And yeah, I love that girl, and she gets a hard rap, that girl. And I think she gets a hard rap, and the reason why I've told her she gets a hard rap is she needs to be a little bit more like Marmite. Because I don't get that much of a hard rap. Why? Because you fucking cross me, you've crossed me, you don't cross me again because I don't bother with you. I don't let your negativity come to me. I don't try and please you. I tell you what I think, I hold myself accountable, I'll try not to be rude to you, but if it's what I think, I'm not going to take it back. Look, we can try and build a friendship from that. At least you'll know I'll always be honest. But I ain't going to fucking try and make you like me. At the end of the day, I will respect you. I will always do what I can to try and navigate things. But I ain't about to lick your fucking ass to make you like me. And I've said to B, if there's anything you've got to learn on this app, it's you've got to build a bit more resilience, B. And that's what I had to learn. Because, when you try and, when people like me and B and you, Siobhan, we want to be liked because we know we're good people and we want to help people and we never want to offend people. I don't want to offend people. I never want to hurt people, never intentionally. But I know sometimes just breathing fucking pisses someone off. Honestly, you wouldn't believe how many people get pissed off me breathing. And I used to cry. I used to not go on TikTok or Facebook, and I used to say, Spirit, I can't do this. Spirit, I can't do this. I'm not built for social media. I'm not built for the ridicule. I'm not built for people pleasing. And Spirit said to me, your lesson is resilience. Your lesson is to stand out and shine. Be respectful. Do it with love. But if people don't like you, let it go. Let people's negativity bounce off you. Continue to rise your vibration and let people bounce their shit off you without it affecting you. And pretty much what I do now. Now, sometimes I offend people without meaning to, and all I can ever say is, let's talk about it. We're humans. Everyone pisses somebody off. We piss our closest loved ones off, we don't mean to. If somebody matters to you, and my community matter to me, I'd always say to you, please talk to me. I try to have as much respect. I try to do everything I can with love, but that doesn't mean that sometimes it might not be misconstrued, because that's life. But B, I want to bloody teach that girl, Beth, gotta build resilience, because she's got 100k, right? And she could do something really good with her platform. She keeps going, but two problems are going to occur. She's either going to be run off this app because people are going to be horrible and it's really going to affect her self-esteem, or she's going to burn out. She's going to burn out. And I don't want either of those to happen to her, But anyway, so yeah, this lady was a little bit upset, and she was very warranted in what she was saying, actually, because the art of mediumship is evidential mediumship, and there's not actually an awful lot of evidential mediumship going on TikTok. I'm not going to lie to you. And I love Siobhan. And the thing is about mediumship is But then again, nobody has to do mediumship on live if they don't want to do mediumship. But what you do have to do is if you are going to do mediumship, you have to know what you're doing. And there's a lot of people that don't. I love you, Siobhan. And it is disheartening. I hear her when she says that. It's so disheartening. And I'm not saying I'm more genuine than any other medium, but it's disheartening when I absolutely love this craft and I absolutely have so much respect for this craft to see other people not using the craft in the right way. It is disheartening. Rachel, have you just witnessed the fucking energy? Have you just witnessed it? He's actually, I reckon he's thriving off the negativity. He is one of those that's like, any bad publicity is good publicity. He's like that, isn't he? Oh God, Paris, remember there's Claire's law and Sarah's laws by going to the police. Thank you for reminding everyone. I'm going to pin that. Because he's loving it, isn't he? But Spirit have got something in store for him. Spirit have got something in store for him. And please believe me when I tell you, Spirit doesn't hurt people. Spirit doesn't do anything. Spirit brings your stuff back up. He won't be going to Canada. He's going to be in a lot of trouble with the police next year, one way or another. I can see it. And Spirit is starting something. Because what Spirit does is, it goes, I'm going to show you the energy that you're showing up with. So this is why when people are faced with certain things, it's because Spirit open up doors along your way to have to either face your stuff or deny your stuff. And the more you deny it, the more dark you become. Spirit, I know it. I feel it. Because every time I speak to Spirit and say, why? Why has somebody like him got so many followers on the app? And Spirit says, he will come undone. Have faith. He will come undone. And they all do. And you know what? He'll undo it himself. Because there'll only be so long that people will watch him and go, all of this is coming. Because predominantly it's women that watch him. And there'll only be so long that women will go, actually, this is too much physical evidence to actually bypass. And women, no matter how most of them want to fancy somebody like Jesse King or like him, a lot of women will see the darkness is already taken over. You can see that because when he's on live and he's losing the plot at times and he's screaming and he's like, fuck it. I mean, I don't watch him. I've just seen snippets and he's lost the plot and it's like, you're losing the plot. You're literally come unstuck. The darkness within you is eating you. That's it. It's Eileen. Hello, my darling. I'm not going to lie though, I do have a good swear, especially when I'm a bit angry. But he is arrogant. He's just, yeah. But the thing is with Jesse, so the thing is, right, Jesse swallowed a lot of anger over his time. And I think Jesse's been a victim himself at some points. And I'm not saying that he hasn't been a victim of women. Thank you for the love, by the way. I think to some degree he has been a victim somewhere. I can't say that he's always been the persecutor. But his anger that he's swallowed from all of the things he's experienced means that he's putting that out onto others. But also, yeah. Also, what was I going to say? Yeah, there's only so long women are going to watch that and actually go, oh, I think this is icky. Because his mask is slipping now. Hello, Zoe. His mask is slipping. Whereas before, his charm mask would come out more. Whereas now, he's a lot more angry a lot more of the time. And he's like, it's almost like somebody frantically trying to, claw back a bit of their... People are seeing it. And not only that, when you've got people like myself who don't generally speak on this stuff, and actually this, I do have I'm not saying I have a lot of respect, but people who watch me do respect me because I'm not somebody that talks negativity all the time. I'm not somebody that wants to gain viewers or clout from anything like this. I'm a genuine person who cares about humanity. I'm a therapist. I understand trauma. I understand and I want to empower people. So when you've got genuine people like myself, not just me, a lot of genuine people like me who aren't the negative Nellies who always thrive off shit. It's the genuine people speaking up. That's when people go, oh, if that person's speaking that, they don't normally do that. There's something going on. Now, other peak creators, there's always some negative Nelly somewhere and you think, oh, that person's off again. You don't always validate what they say. Even if they're saying something genuine, you think, well, they're always moaning about something. But with him, he's got a lot of genuine people starting to speak up. Mystic Fox, Oh, they are at the minute, I'm not going to lie. I have a lot of therapy clients, which I love. But, hello, Kasha. At the moment, I'm having to just navigate my time. Because I work on YouTube. I'm an energy healer. I'm a trauma-informed therapist. I do also mediumship readings. And I do tarot. I do tarot for personal growth. So, what I do is I juggle the balls. And I have a lot of clients at the moment. I will be putting them back up in January. They will be opening back up again. To be quite honest as well, sometimes off topic, my school wouldn't do an HP for Ariana, so done it myself. Sites partner. That's amazing, Chantal, that you've done it yourself. It's naughty your school wouldn't do that. Hannah, he was rude in his live just then. Silly man. You'll have no one to blame but yourself. And this is the thing, right? When anyone comes unstuck, it's generally through their own behaviour. Because that's what he's doing. He's now coming unstuck because he is going to come unstuck because there'll be loads of people that have unfollowed him. Loads of people that are starting to get the ick. Mystic, take my number off my website. My website's on the front of, and we'll see what we can do. Because I'd love to be able to help you. Honestly, it changed my life. All the stuff I learned and how I healed over the years changed my life. Literally, if I come from addiction, I come from so many wounded things myself from being in a domestic. Is that my son? I was blocked when I said I could see right through him. Yeah, Deirdre. Like, the thing is as well, my God. The thing is, right, the society's women are wounded. And so the reason why a lot of, and I'm not saying men aren't, but a lot of women are needing to heal because there's been a lot of male abuse to women over centuries. So for women to be in there praising him up, they're all just conditioned women who have been around a lot of abuse. That's why I feel sorry for them. You don't get angry with anyone that supports him, because you've just got to understand how wounded they must be. Because as you become a healthy woman, thanks for the little as you become a healthy woman and you heal from the wounds that you've had with men and partners, you see red flags quicker. Thank you for your love. Who are you on about? It says Jesse Hawkins King, whatever he fucking goes by. Prick, I don't know. As you can tell, I'm harbouring some inner anger towards him today after what I've seen. But and look, at the end of the day, oh, my son. Imagine telling somebody mental, like, I could never imagine, right? I work with a lot of different spiritual people who have a lot of different spiritual experiences that I've never had. And I would never dream of telling him it was psychosis or mental health. Because who the flaming hell am I to determine what somebody's, I'd get them to explore. But who is any spiritual teacher, any spiritual person to ever define? I'm going to tell him. Taylor! Jeez Louise!